What's up, guys? Kevin here. Just wanted to share a funny little story that happened to me, and I look like shit because I just woke up. But everybody knows my Lexus, and I kind of got to a point where I started getting not bored with it, but not having enough time to work on it. So I put it up on Craigslist, and I got a whole bunch of people wanting to trade. I got a boosted Honda Civic, or I have a KA240. I'm like, I really don't want to get rid of it for that. And I was more or less trying to trade it, get me something that I can daily drive, which I could daily drive this, but if nobody knows, I seafoamed it, and after I seafoamed it, it started smoking out of the crankcase. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, and that's a lot of stuff is going to be going on the next couple of weeks. But anyway, back to the point. So I had it on Craigslist. I had this little kid from South Carolina call me and asked me all kinds of questions about the car. His name is Logan. He said, "Hey man, I got I believe it was a 2007 Gixxer 600, really low miles, man. It's a nice bike." I was basically to the point where, okay, you know what? He sent me some pictures of it. He looked at the videos of the car. It was pretty much, yeah, okay, that's fine. So, he's the one that kept pushing the point. I was just like, whatever, I can't work on it, so why should I have it back here just rotting away? So, yesterday, we set it up so we would come down on Saturday, and I told him, I said, man, I got to work on Saturday. Can't you do it on Sunday? He was like, no, I really can only do it on Saturday, but, blah, 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 and get down there at 12 o'clock. Well, I go to work at 11. So I went to work. He got down here about 12:30. I took off work and came back home, which is about a half an hour from my house. Pulling the house, he starts talking, hey, dude, blah, 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 it looks nice. I'm like, yeah, man, I mean, it drives good. If you can go through it and figure out what's going on with the smoke and all that stuff, I mean, it's a great fucking car, no kind of issues. And I even told him I would give him a spare 2JZ engine, complete engine, pulled out of a running car with 80,000 miles. Now I took the head off the motor because I was going to port and polish the head, put the thicker head gasket and the head studs on it. So I said, look, you can have that. You can have some extra racing seats to go with it. You can have this, all this stuff. So he said, can I drive it? I was like, dude, this is like 500 horsepower. I really don't trust a little young guy driving my car, especially not having another seat and I can't drive it with him to see how he's driving it. So I was like, you know what, sit in the back, I'll take you for a ride, blah, blah, blah. We went for a ride, he seen the smoke, he was like, yeah, I'm really concerned about the smoke. I was like, dude, well, you knew about the smoke before, so I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it now. Oh, I don't know if I can make it. I was like, dude, the car's not going to break down. But I sat there and told him, I said, look, that's your bike, this is my car. Like, it sucks that you would drive all the way down here and then not take something back with you, but walk away if you want to walk away. He had 3 little dudes with him. They started talking. Yeah, we're going to take it. And I was like, are you sure? Because I'm not, pressuring you anything here. Are you sure you want to take it? He was like, yeah, man, I want to take it. I think it's a badass car. So we unload his bike. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, we do the bill of sales, to trade. And he said, can I sit out in your front yard for a few minutes? I want to take the hood off to see if that reduces some of the smoke, and I'll just drive it without the hood back up, to South Carolina. I was like, yeah, that's fun. So I go back to work. This motherfucker texts me. He was like, hey, man, I think I want to go back on the trade and blah, blah, blah. It's just stupid, man. And he was like, yeah, it's not idling, and it's smoking. I was like, you knew about the fucking smoke. I'm at work right now. You're fucking bothering me at work because you don't know what the fuck you want to do. So I was like, dude, we signed the paperwork. Basically, the car is fucking yours. The bike is mine. I mean, I wasn't planning on keeping his bike, but then again, it's like, business is business. This dude checked the car out. I even told him to walk away, and he still wanted to do it. So, I mean, it's nobody's fault, but it's on. About 10 minutes later, his dad calls me. He was like, yeah, you're going to give my son back his bike and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, stop acting like a fucking 12-year-old. Call me and talk to me like a fucking man. Don't call me and start whining about your son's bike. He was like, well, he's only 16. I'm like, 16, really? This dude is 16 years old, and it was my fault because I didn't ask him for a fucking ID or anything. But the titles was there and all this shit, and this is very fucking funny. So ultimately, I told the dude, I said, you know what? Leave my fucking car in my yard. Take my shit out. All the shit that I gave you, just leave it in my yard. And take your fucking shitty ass bike and stick it up your fucking ass. It was just ridiculous. So at this point now, I'm just gonna rebuild my car. I mean, I can't stand people, and fucking humanity are just fucking stupid. Like, it's really ridiculous, you know. I was trying to sell the car for $6,000 with a spare motor to it. I don't figure that that's a bad deal, considering I got $7,000 just in parts. But people are stupid and they try to lowball you. But anyway, it's a funny story. Ultimately, he got his bike back. I got my car back. It's right there. The little fucker took my hood off and took the NOS tank out of it and all this shit. But like I said, when his dad called me and said blah blah blah, and then ultimately the fucking bike was not in the dude's name that came down to trade. So I'm like, you're trying to trade a bike that's not in your name for my fucking car. You go ahead through the deal, and then you bother me after I get back to work and say, hey, you need to come back, I need to go back on it. Be a man of your fucking word. Like, be a person of your word. If I say I'm gonna do something, I will fucking do it. I mean, that's just what being a man is. And like I said, his dad calling and whining about this shit, and saying, oh, I'm gonna get you arrested, I'm gonna call the cops and blah blah blah. I told him, I said, fuck you. Like, seriously, what kind of fucking dad are you? You're letting a 16-year-old drive a fucking big ass King Ranch with a trailer on the back of it, it's probably a 12-foot trailer on the back of it, from South Carolina to Douglasville, Georgia, which is like 6 fucking hours, with a bunch of his little friends, which are probably 15, 16, 17 years old. And then you're telling me on what's fucking moral. You should be a fucking dad and control your kid. When I asked him about it, he's like, whoa, I didn't know he was going to trade the bike. Yeah, so here's the keys, son. You're 16. Take my King Ranch, to another state. Do whatever you need to do. This is so ridiculous. It pissed me off, but it made me laugh. And I don't know. Like, I give up on fucking humanity. So I'm going to keep my car. Today's Sunday. I'm going to start taking it apart. I'm going to go ahead and pull the head off of it. More than likely, I got a sticking ball, and it's blowing compression back up through the crankcase. So I'm going to do that today, fuck around with it, and kind of go from there. I'm going to be making videos as I'm doing it, because if I take the head off and I got a bad piston or something like that, I'm just going to rebuild the whole thing, put some CP pistons and some Eagle rods and stuff like that in it. I got a bunch of shit that I'm hoarding, parts and stuff that I'm probably going to sell on eBay to actually fund the project, because I don't want to take, a whole bunch of money and throw into it. I'll just take the stuff that I have, sell it, rebuild the motor, be done with it. That's basically what I'm going to do. So, you guys, I don't know, keep watching, because there's going to be a few videos uploaded on how to do some stuff. And if you know a dude named Logan that lives in South Carolina, he's a little bitch. Honestly, he is a real little immature bitch that just does not know anything about life. So anyway, I'm out.